Take a minute to think about all the places in your neighborhood that make it a good place to live. Now, what if the most important members of your church had to move away? The families that helped out at your child's school just packed up and left. What if your neighbors weren't around to keep local businesses going, so they had to close? This is the face of foreclosure in some Chicago neighborhoods. And if you think you know the extent of the problem, take a look at this. This map shows the number of foreclosed homes in one neighborhood in just 10 months of 2008.
It was a perfect storm in the lending industry. It was a perfect storm in the housing market industry. We had lenders who were providing loans to anybody who could breathe, and you had people who wanted to get loans or people who wanted to refinance into better loans who didn't understand. You know, there's blame to go around, but for sure, these loan products should not have been available, period.
It's about what's happening in the neighborhood now. There are 5 and 6 homes on every block that are being foreclosed. A lot of the work that's been done in the neighborhood is at risk. This is something that has the capacity to so fundamentally destroy the structure of the neighborhood that all of the work can go down the drain.
There are hundreds of financial counselors in Chicago who are working with a flood of troubled mortgage owners, trying to save one house at a time. They're working with families like the Alanises, who have lived in their home for 10 years along with their daughter, her husband, and their 2 children. 3 years ago, Guadalupe's husband broke his leg, and because they had no insurance, they took out a second mortgage at an adjustable rate to pay his medical bills. Now that the rate has adjusted, they can't afford their mortgage, and after 3 months of missed payments, Countrywide has started foreclosure proceedings.
You feel like somebody cut your hands and you're not able to reach something, you can get it. How? And it's painful because you love your house. It's the only house and the last one because we are not too young. My husband is 65 already, I'm 62. We are doing the best to keep the house.
Although Chicago's financial counselors are overwhelmed by the sheer volume of cases like Guadalupe's, only 1 in 4 mortgage owners actually seeks help. That's why people like David McDowell are looking for a broader solution for their communities.
The idea is not simply getting more and more people in front of counselors, but begin to use the power of the institutions to come up with a solution, because to fix the problem, we're going to need to get banks to a degree to do broad workouts with broad classes of mortgages. This year, 42,000 foreclosures are expected to be filed. There aren't enough counselors in the state of Illinois to cover 42,000 foreclosures, much less Cook County.
Community leaders who face similar situations in their neighborhoods are coming together for monthly meetings to compare notes, brainstorm solutions, and work as a team to get government attention. Organizations on the Southwest side caught the attention of Illinois Senator Dick Durbin, who held a Senate subcommittee hearing on the crisis. McDowell and his team encouraged Durbin to push banks to come to the table to work with communities and modify loans so that homeowners can stay in their homes while catching up on payments. But if and when the banks are ready to negotiate, the troubled communities need to be organized and ready to implement a plan thoroughly and quickly. That's why the Southwest Organizing Project, or SWOP, has created the Keep Our Homes campaign. They're working with institutional leaders like Father Stan from St. Nicholas of Tallentine Church.
I wanted to put faces and names to those dots. So we took a survey at all the masses, and we got about 450 responses, and about half of those indicated that they were in some phase of the foreclosure process or fearful that they were going to soon enter into the foreclosure process. I thought to devote homily time to this, which is the Word of God, really help people to notice and to understand the import of this, how this is impacting our community. And it really has, because we've had several of our parish leaders who've already lost their homes. We've had people pull their children out of our school because they're losing their home, they're losing their job, they can't afford to pay tuition anymore. There's power in numbers of people standing together. That's what SWOP has taught us down through the years. One voice crying in the wilderness is one voice, but when you get 100 other voices to join that voice, then it's easier to be heard. and it's easier to have, to have some base of power when you're negotiating with these banks who are nothing but power, so we stand together. That's why St. Nicholas has been here for over 100 years. We stand together with the community, and on occasion we invite the community to stand together with us.
Other Chicago neighborhoods have come up with their own solutions to empower residents by offering free foreclosure seminars like this one in Auburn Gresham.
A lot of our clients think that there's nothing that can be done, so we try to arm them with the options that are available to them. What anyone needs to keep in mind is to be very proactive. Seek services from people that are reputable, who have your best interest in heart, because just as there were so many people who had scams when people were purchasing property, unfortunately those same people are also scamming with regards to foreclosure rescue scams.
In this uneasy and often embarrassing situation, the most important first step is to get help. Take it from those who have learned from their mistakes.
I just went out there, purchased, bought, real estate company, and bam, it was over. But if I would have taken out the time to take a class, I probably would have learned something. I probably would have learned something how to watch and protect myself, my signature, and have some knowledge in regards to real estate.
Especially for us, for the Spanish people, to get somebody to speak well English, so you don't get in this kind of trouble. You have to fight. You have to fight what you are going to hide. It's something you have to fight because it's yours. You have to get over. I know it's painful for us, but you have to get over.
Read before you sign, and even if you sign and you don't know what you're signing, you're thinking you're signing one thing, but it's something else, have someone there that can say, hey, this is not what we're thinking. I know a couple people who lost their houses through that. They couldn't save it, but to me, they didn't even try, because it's a lot of help out here. You just got to get out here, and you can't let it go, because if you want to be there, you need to just make it work.
The first thing you should do is pick up the phone and call. Call a HUD-certified counseling agency, get services for free.
Go to somebody as quickly as possible before you fall behind, and make sure it's a HUD-certified mortgage counselor. You should not have to pay anything for this.
Kenneth Lipsey has been a homeowner for 10 years, and because he acted quickly when in trouble, he'll have many more years in his home. After a plumbing emergency, Kenneth was left with a $7,000 bill and no money to pay his mortgage. He called the city and was referred to a financial counselor who helped him modify his loan, which gave him the time he needed to catch up with payments.
I was really nervous about it at first, but I needed the help. I've had some friends that did lose their homes. I recommended the program to them, and they just didn't reach out for the help. You have nothing to lose. Well, the only thing you have to lose is your home. And if you love it, if you love your house and you want to stay in it, you would have to put that, I guess, self-pride to the side and step out and say, hey, I need some help.